Hello guys and welcome to Cast 514 episode 5, the Community and Manager Special. Why Community and Manager Special? Well, let's find out. I'm Broadcast Storm and together with me is Grideris. What's going on, man?
Not much. We've just got a couple of people on the line who'll be chipping in a moment, but we've got some new dev block that's come out. We've finally got people redeeming their keys from FanFest. We've finally got a date when it's all going to start, and we've got lots more on the show for you guys.
So are we ready to unleash the community episode?
I think we might be. Gentlemen, if you'd like to say hello.
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 So, let's see. First of all, we've got Kaz. So,
Yeah.
Kaz.
So, hello, guys. Yeah, well, thanks for the invite, first. It's just great to do that Cast 514 with you. So I'm French, so I'd like to apologize in advance to every listener if sometimes I'm a bit fuzzy. And I say bonjour, so everyone see that I'm French. What do you want to know? What I played before? Anything?
No, we'll get to that in a moment. We've also got some other people. We've got Rhapsody.
Hello. Yes, Rhapsody. British, English even, not French. Yeah, living down in Nullsec with Nully Secunda. And yeah, great. Thanks for having us on here, guys. It's going to be fun.
Yep. I just hope that you and Kazadron won't break into a war for the next 100 years during the podcast. So if you could please refrain from that. You can do light fisticuffs is all right, but just keep it to that the most. Yeah. Okay, we've also got Rookdok.
Hi. From the States, someplace. I have no idea where I am, but that's okay.
Wormhole space.
Thanks for having me on.
And of course, last of all, we've got Nums with us.
What's up, guys? Nums, Numbers, whatever you want to call me. I'm from Trinidad. It's an island in the Caribbean near to Venezuela, just in case you have trouble reading maps. Thanks for the invite, guys. I'm glad to be here. Leader of Synergy Gaming, PS3 clan, so looking forward to it.
Yeah, so Nums, what's your history in gaming and all that? You mentioned you're clan leader of Synergy Gaming.
My history, I've been gaming. I started gaming competitively in 2009. Didn't have much clans back then. Tried to start my own one, didn't work out. Then I got hooked on MAG. Right, I joined the clan there. Had some great times on MAG. Then, well, as most MAG clans and MAG players, after time, the game just got old. I decided it was time to move on. And I decided to form Synergy Gaming in January 2011. And just been working my way up from there. We played Killzone 2. Well, we played Killzone 3 actually as our first game as a clan. Then we moved to SOCOM 4. And now we're currently on Battlefield and we're awaiting Dust 514, which everyone is looking forward to.
Sounds fun. What about you, Rhapsody?
Well, my history of gaming, I've been playing games since, God knows, since my dad first brought home a crappy old Apple 286 or something when I was about 10, and always into the shooters, used to play shooters a lot more when it was COD 1, COD 2, and for the last, 7-8 years, been into MMOs. I'm ashamed to say I wasted 4 years of my life on WoW. Oh, how many more skill points I would have now. But, yeah, came over to EVE finally about 3 years ago, loving it, and just loving the possibilities that we're going to have with Dust. Yeah. A shooter that's going to have as much depth as people that have been crying out for it for years. So yeah, really looking forward to that.
And who are you stomping around with in EVE? Anybody?
Yeah, I'm living down south in period basis with Nully Secunda, S2N, fighting lots of people in Delve. Oh, so much fun.
I'm sure you're looking forward to seeing what damage you can do on the ground as well. And what about you, Kazadron?
Well, I've been playing video games since I was a child, never been really competitive, but I played mostly Counter-Strike for maybe a decade, which is quite a years ago, and I've played MAG, just like Nums. I've played quite a lot of MAG, and I made build a big French community on the game that's really expecting Dust 514 now.
Did you two ever fight each other by any chance?
I guess we could have come across each other sometimes, but I don't seem to recall very well. I'm not the biggest Mac player in France. I have some other guys in my clan that played a lot, and I'm going to quote the name of my clan as I've been asked to. It's What the French. Okay, so that's done, and I hope we'll see each other on the Dust battlefield.
Nums has been unusually silent on this topic. Are you hiding?
I haven't seen him on MAG, actually. It's probably the time zone differences. Yeah, I mean, probably. He's from Europe, I'm in the US, so I tend to play more late at night, which is probably like ridiculous hours in the morning for him, so I can't remember seeing his name. But then again, I've shot a lot of people on MAG, so I don't recall everyone who I've shot.
Yeah, sure.
There's a lot of people you probably shot. And what about you, Rookdog?
Well, I started playing games in general back on a Commodore 64. Got into PC gaming with Spear of Destiny and Doom way back in the day.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. I've played pretty much everything. I actually used to work for GameStop here in the States, so I've sold games, bought games, shot people in games. Played most of the MMOs that came out in the last 10 years. Been playing EVE for about 6. And I've done almost everything in EVE that you can possibly do. I am horrible at PvP, but that's about all that I'm bad at.
So, guys, how have you been following Dust 4? I mean, how did you find out about Dust? Did you attend any FanFests, or did you watch any videos, or did you come to base or something like that?
I think I first noticed Dust probably the FanFest video.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago now. And instantly I was like, because I love the depth of EVE, and instantly as soon as they started saying things about a shooter with the potential depth and complexity of EVE, it was just like, this is like a shooter kind of dream come true. I mean, like I say, I haven't really been into shooters since like COD 1 and COD 2 years and years ago. Yeah. Played a bit of Battlefield 2, Bad Company and that, but yeah, I mean, it was without a doubt, seeing it a couple of years ago instantly had me with my attention looking at it, just like the depth and the possibilities are just endless. So yeah.
So how did you follow?
Something really looking forward to.
So how did you follow Dust ever since?
Ever since, it's mainly been you guys, Base and Org, and just Google is your friend, as I like to say.
Pretty much, yeah. Rookdog, what about you?
I actually heard about it in 2008 when CCP posted a couple of job postings for console developers.
Yeah.
So we kind of heard rumors and knew things were kind of up back then. But then, I mean, nobody really knew anything until it was announced on stage in 2009 at FanFest. And I've been following it extremely since then. You guys, Twitter, Google, the Evo forums, anything I can get my hands on.
All right. Well, now, Kaz, you've been writing dust504-france.com for a while now, and how did you get into all that blogging experience and fan site work? Did you follow Dust previously in depth, or did you get interested and started blogging straight away?
Yeah, well, I started to know about Dust about a year ago. A friend of mine mentioned it when we were talking about how MAG was declining, and he showed me the footage from 09 FanFest, if I remember right. Then I started to translate the dev blogs that were released in 2011. And someone mentioned on Org forums that I should start a blog for French community, and that's what I did. And ever since, I've been tweeting just like Gridris. And I follow the game, and I try to spread the word, spread the informations on the game, and get people interested in.
All right, well, awesome. I've been actually following your blog for ever since it opened, and I even though I cannot understand a word of it, I'm pretty sure that you do a great job for the French community. So I'm really glad that we have you here. Nums, you've been playing obviously all those competitive games, and how did you get around Dust in the first place?
Well, to be honest, I heard of Dust from a clanmate. Like, he brought it up to us a day on our website. He was like, "Hey, you guys should check out Dust." And at first, to be honest, I wasn't really sold on Dust because it reminded me a lot of MAG, and the way I didn't know anything of EVE at the time, so it was like, well, I had a lot of questions but no answers. Yeah. Like how territories capture is going to work, like if some guy could just wake up 4 o'clock in the morning and take my shit, stuff like that. So I didn't know a lot about it, but credit to Lifeline though. I'm sure you guys saw him on the IRC chat a lot. He's the one that actually he's persistent at it, and he's been following Eve a lot. He doesn't play it, but he's planning to get into Eve. He loves politics, and he loves the whole Eve universe, so he's just been persistent, just getting us involved in it, and he turned me into a believer. I'm currently hooked on the game. As you guys can see, I'm always tweeting the devs, asking questions on Twitter.
Yeah.
I'm also active on the .org and the base blogs as well. I always follow those sites, so just been keeping up with the game from then. So,
might just quickly intercede here, guys. The CCP guys, you should probably answer his questions more, because his questions are good questions. Keep going.
Yeah, pretty much. Nums has been tweeting to developers with a lot of in-depth questions, and he's really, really precise with things that he's saying. So it's not like, you guys should add this, this, and this, but I don't know how. He is always trying his best to move the game forward with devs, and hopefully when we all get into the beta, we can post the feedback on official forums, and devs are going to listen to us a lot more. So great. I've actually never asked you before, but what are you looking forward to most in Dust later on?
What am I looking for? Okay, that was left field. What am I looking for Dust?
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm looking from Dust for the same thing almost that Nums is looking for. Basically, an FPS game that actually matters the outcome of each match, because up until now, all you've really gotten is a certain amount of XP, and maybe a single number somewhere might increase for the number of wins or losses you've had. But with Dust, you're actually bringing meaningful, long-term changes to the game, and you're actually blowing up somebody else's stuff, just like in Eve, because that's what makes Eve so amazing. The fact that when you blow up somebody's ship, it's gone.
Yep.
And that's great.
That's awesome.
And when you take somebody else's space, you've taken their space. It's yours now. They've just lost it.
Precisely. And as a hardcore Eve Online player right now, Raps, what are you looking forward to the most in Dust when it launches?
One of the things that I really liked on the recent dev blog is the whole how dynamic the battlefield is going to be in terms of the landscape is the only static thing. The battlefield's going to change on a kind of not only a battle to battle basis, but also on a real time basis as squad leaders and stuff put things down. But the other part I'm really looking forward to is, to be honest, when it gets out to nullsec and shaking up nullsec a bit. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't want them to just completely break it all, but it would be nice to see nullsec get a nice bit of a shake up.
Yeah, it's really going to bring a lot of cool stuff into Eve, but as we can see, devs are really, really careful with that stuff. So yeah, interaction is going to be limited at launch. So Rugdok, what are you looking forward to Dust the most when it launches?
When it launches,
yeah.
Shooting people in the face. But as it progresses, basically everything everybody else has been saying. Standard progression, lasting consistency, evolution, meaningful impact against somebody when you actually do something in game, the ability to blow the crap up on the ground from space.
Yes,
that will be fun.
So you are one of those Eve Online players that is going to play Dust actively as well.
I actually have my PS3 set up right next to my desktop and laptop, so I will be playing both at the same time.
Awesome. So yeah, it sounds really fun. Kaz, what about you?
Well, just like everyone has said, the persistence in the game is just something that amazes me. It's what Mag lacked. In fact, you were fighting with a specific faction, but a battle was just all the battles were just the same. Nums will not say otherwise. And with Dust, just like Grid said, it's like in Eve. You take a territory, it's yours, and it's lost for the opposite team. And another thing that amazes me is the fact that when the game will be released, I won't stop expecting things. Yeah. The game will just improve over time, always. Exactly. So we'll still be waiting for new thing to come, and that's just amazing, really.
Yeah, as the game is actually going to have all the expansions for free, and there are not going to be any DLCs or stuff like that that you need to purchase as well. So yeah, the game is going to expand constantly. So that's one big plus. And Nums, what about you?
Same thing like everyone else. Like Kaz said it best. Like Mag had persistence, but Mag lacked the persistence actually. But I'm hoping that does satisfies that, because in Mag, battles really meant nothing. And honestly, in the shooter community these days, like there's not much else except for like E-Pride. Like that's all you're playing for, like stats. Oh, I beat your clan. Whoop-de-doo. You get nothing for it but hurt feelings, basically getting people butthurt. But in Dust, I could actually take your territory. I could actually destroy your entire corporation, and that sort of stuff appeals to me, to be honest.
No. Yeah, it's really awesome how PS2 players as well are realizing that there is a shooter with a persistent world, and obviously we've never seen that before on PS3. And yeah, so great. Anything else to add?
No, not really. I think these guys are covered pretty well. I mean, that's pretty much what we're all looking for.
Yeah.
If I would add something,
sure.
I would just mention the skill system. I mean, that's just something that's just great. We talk about persistence, but there's persistence in the fighting, but there's also persistence in the character everyone will play.
Yeah.
I mean, you will take several years to improve your character. That's just amazing. I mean, in actual FPS, like COD or maybe Battlefield, you get to level 70, yeah, and you just start over, and you get a veteran, or I don't even remember how it's called in COD, but you just do the same stuff over and over. And in MAG, when it's your character or your battles, they just mean something, and they have a long-term effect on the game.
Pretty much. And
I would like to expand on Kaz's point as well.
Yeah.
It's like he brought up like the roles, and that's a thing I'm looking forward to in Dust as well. One of the big flaws in most shooters, like that claim to be class-based shooters, is that they're not really class-based shooters. MAG, once you reach the top level in MAG, basically your character can do everything. It's basically a super soldier. So you have one guy that could be a medic, he could be an engineer, all at the same time on one build, basically. That's what I don't want to see in Dust. I'd like to see like more MMO style roles, like people playing specific roles within the clan. I think that will bring out a more tactical battle, especially when the game people can't just switch out and all of a sudden you see 24 people all running the same fit and basically zerg rushing an objective or whatever.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
Actually, on that point, I might just add this, just in case somebody out there is living under a rock. You should all try at least once Googling Zerg Rush.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Google Zerg Rush and practice clicking stuff.
See if you can get your APM over 300.
Yeah. Also, Raps did mention the recent devlog that was released, and we were really, really surprised with the devlog with so much cool examples of the combat and stuff like that. So, Grid, what was your highlight of the devlog?
My highlight. I'm going to quickly ask a question as well with this. How many of you guys absolutely loved the last piece of artwork? That was the one with the fighter and the LAB.
Oh, I know my pilots love that. They've been pestering me for ages about the fighters in the game, so that's a big thing for them.
Oh, I loved it. It
was worth the wait, because I think that's probably what they had to wait. They were waiting on to publish it.
That devlog was amazing. Yeah.
In all seriousness, for me personally, although none of it was particularly new news for me, although it was more confirmation of speculation and analysis and extrapolation I had made previously. But it's certainly the devlog that basically hit anybody who's still wondering about Dust 5 and 4 like a brick in the face about what's really happening. This is what we have, and this is what we're bringing to the table.
Yeah, I mean the first screenshot that CCP Praetorian leaked a week before or so is just amazing. I mean, we see a giant structure. We have no idea what it is. We see structures far away in the back of the picture. We saw some storage facilities on the right. We saw roads. It's amazing. I mean, and they tell us that you can select which structure you will build on those planets. So you know that this picture, if you take it, I don't know, maybe 3 weeks later after some battles, you will see a totally different structure on it. And that's just amazing. Seriously, I dreamt of an FPS with such deep. Since I started gaming, I mean, I played Counter-Strike. I was thinking, what if I could own some maps and I would be challenged by people to take this map for themselves. I'm just stunned.
Yeah, and from a MMO player perspective, Raps, how do you actually view Dust and the recent devlog? How much of a change does it bring to your MMO mind since you played, WoW, and then you moved to EVE Online?
I mean, in terms of shoot, I mean, like I say, shooters I've played a bit, so the whole dynamicness of the battlefield is something that I think's going to just be absolutely brilliant. But just the whole having a really nice MMO that's going to have more of a community that you see with games like EVE and WoW. I mean, WoW communities, I don't even want to go there actually, but the EVE community especially, to get this sort of EVE community now filtering and seeping into the kind of FPS console players and having a really good solid community that cares about the game and is inputting into the game like we do with EVE, as EVE players do, and seeing that grow and develop over what's going to be years with Dust, I think it's going to be really cool, because I think it's going to end up becoming a really tight-knit, involved community compared to any other FPS game, and similar to we are with EVE. So yeah, I mean, that's something I'm really looking forward to, just the community as well as bombarding all the dust bunnies from orbit.
Yeah, and also, Nums, do you think that PS3 players really are going to care about their planets, about the stuff that they own, and how do you think that they're going to react when they find out that there is a world beyond high sec and matches that matter and stuff that they can own? And do you think that they're going to become even hardcore players are going to be spawning out of the blue?
Yeah, I do. It's going to take a while. It's not going to happen overnight, but obviously, I can guarantee that a couple of clans from different communities will definitely take into this. Like, I know there's the MAG community. Obviously, they'll love this. I could see the SOCOM community as well loving this as well, because before some SOCOM clans used to hold like attack map tournament, where basically it's like a tournament where you fight over resources and territory. So this is something that fits right up their alley. So I could see them loving this as well. I could see Killzone clans loving it as well, coming over. So honestly, this is a game that I could see blending in a lot of communities, and you're going to see a lot of different play styles, and it's going to be amazing in my opinion.
I mean, that's the thing, I think, in terms of the community, it's going to be interesting, because as you say, I mean, I've been chatting to you about the whole MAG community, and as you say, the SOCOM community, all these different communities from different games now coming over and being exposed to the awfully friendly EVE community, and seeing how they're all going to kind of combine and how it's going to evolve over the next few years with Dust. It will certainly be interesting.
Yeah, I remember the early days of having all the MAG clans invade the dust-4.org forums back like 2009, 2010, and they're all really had no idea about EVE, and they're all really innocent and just had no idea what was going on. Now they're actually not too bad. So it's actually interesting to see them, even though most of them aren't playing, just seeing them, how they've adapted, just generally because I've been telling them that everybody's going to screw them over.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see a lot of clans, just moving to Dust, even though even beta didn't start well. For most of us, so it's really, really awesome.
I am definitely looking forward to the first big scam or betrayal that goes down as well, and seeing you on forums about it.
Rhapsody, we've talked about this. Like, we're waiting on this. Like, the first one that goes down in the console community is going to be so much crying on the forums. It's going to be funny to watch.
And we're all going to sit there just pointing and laughing. But what I really want to see is the first time a Dust player that's not an EVE player scams an EVE player.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be the true mark. Dust has become EVE.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, well, I would be afraid of the response from the EVE player, to be honest. I would fear it a lot.
Depends on which corp or alliance you scam.
Yes,
or they scam goons. Goons turn up with 1,000 maelstroms. Get some
Just don't mess with the wrong guy.
No, that's the whole point. You mess with the wrong guy, but then you make sure that some other guy is framed for it. That's the way you do it.
Just start making a chain reaction, and it's fine. I mean, that's what the game is all about. So there is no escape of war. Yeah.
One bullet to take out the entire CFC, or one bullet to take out the entire anything.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck
about
with
the
that.
PS3. About the PS3 community, I know Nums talked a little bit about it. There's already hardcore players on PS3. There's some guys that can spend hundreds of hours on a game in a very short period of time. I think they're just not used to have different layers of gameplay at their disposal. But I think they will feel just fine with what Dust offers. I think it's just a matter of things that they had at their disposal that weren't. All the same. It was all the same thing all the time. But when they see they have the opportunity to own planets, to own territory, to gather resources, to craft items from them, I think that they will enjoy it, and they will be they will try to protect it. Just like they love their kill-death ratio, they will love their territory. They will love to brag about it. There's no worries to have about that.
Yeah, and also we've been seeing quite a lot of in a previous week. We've seen some people from beta that got in, and as you know, Sony gave away 5,000 beta keys to people that they chose to, and I'm not really sure that they did a good job of choosing those 5,000 people. But yeah, that's for some other talk. We've seen actually some videos from the beta or very early beta that people are in at the moment. And what do you think, Riris, about that?
Well, for one, for anybody who actually now decides to go leap out and try and find them, they've actually all been taken down by now. They're all gone. But to be honest, from what I saw at FanFest compared to what I saw there wasn't much difference, to be honest, except I think FanFest was a little bit better, because that's actually the videos and the beta version they're playing right now is actually predates the FanFest build, which is already a couple of months old at the time, by several months again. So this could be like a 4 or 5 month old build that they're playing at the moment.
Yeah, and then they post videos of that gameplay, and then people get a wrong impression of it. And the problem with that is that people that are currently in the beta are under NDA, and I don't know how many of you guys actually played a beta that is under NDA. How many of you?
I've played a few.
All right. I've tested like most of the, almost all of the Sony exclusive betas. So
were they under NDA at the time though?
Yeah, closed betas and open betas. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Kaz,
I think I've only played open betas personally.
All right.
I've never been into a beta myself. I never really had any interest for any beta. Mm-hmm. I missed the one on Mag, which is the only one I would regret. But when I started to hear about Dust 514, I knew I had to get in that beta. I just fell in love with the game, clearly. So it's the first one that really matters to me, and I have no intention of breaking any NDA or stuff like that. No, it's a matter of respect.
No, hopefully we'll all be giving good feedback.
Yeah. Also,
I think we will.
Also, those people that got in and that posted videos obviously didn't even read the agreement. That they scrolled and they clicked accept.
Oh, that was terrible. At one stage, I was talking to one of these people and telling him, "You need to take this video down now before CCP notices and bans your ass." And they're like, "I can do this. The NDA doesn't say I can't upload a video to YouTube." And at that moment, if any of you seen that rage face with Jackie Chan holding his hands on his face, that is exactly how I was. It's just like,
precisely.
What? How do you just... It's a non-disclosure agreement. How can you disclose something and be a non-disclosure agreement?
See, I mean, I don't know how Sony selected all their beta testers, and I don't even... I mean, obviously, they're not going to tell us, but I do hope CCP had a bit of a moan at Sony for how they've kind of gone about this, inviting sort of people to the beta, because, there's a lot of people in the EVE community that certainly weren't happy about it, that's for sure.
I mean, there were people in the EVE community who weren't happy about it because they weren't selected, and they thought, especially a lot of FanFest attendees who were basically saying, we were supposed to get in first. Now, I know it's kind of what CCP said, but that's not my big issue. My big issue is that basically, from what we can tell, is basically been a random pool of people they've just picked out and chuck beta keys at instead of people who, like Num said, he was done a lot of previous betas, so he would probably be a better candidate for something like this because he's done this sort of thing before. Not people who've never done a beta and people who think that a beta is a demo version, not a beta.
Yeah. A lot of the problem with those people posting videos for the breaking NDA is that they actually think that they're helping the community out by showing them how the game plays, but that's not how it actually works because these console people are too accustomed to getting these sort of Battlefield betas where it's like a 2-week demo where you're basically playing the retail game. You're basically playing a polished version of the game already, and people like to use betas to pass judgment on the game. This is a proper beta. This is like how the mag beta went, where you have a couple months prior to the game releasing. So obviously the game isn't the final build, but I don't know what goes through these people's heads that make them post this, because they're actually hurting the game more than helping it by posting these videos.
I'm actually keep going.
Yeah. Well, those people, I don't think they wanted to make any harm to the game. They just missed the NDA. I know they should read stuff that just just going through them, but they don't know that they do more wrong to the game than right. Because I don't know, PS3 players are actually playing Battlefield 3, which has, well, let's say it, gorgeous graphics, and then they came across that beta video from Dust, that is, you said it, a few months old, more than a few months in my opinion, and they just see horrible graphics. They stop the video, and in their mind the game will just be crap. So I don't know, I just don't see what they wanted to do with that, but I understand that they wanted to spread the information, that they think they were doing something good, but in fact no.
That's another problem with the console community. This generation of console players are too hung up on graphics and pretty colors and not substance. And people need to get out of that. They need to focus on substance first and then pretty colors after.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, we all know that most of the betas are actually not fixing graphics until the later point, and they're fixing graphics most of the time when the beta is actually approaching its critical mass, when they're lifting the NDA, when they are accepting billions of people into the game. And at that point, when people see the game, they can judge it. And that is how, for example, Battlefield 3 beta went. People entered this beautiful game, they saw gorgeous graphics, and there were some wonky bugs around, but obviously the game was ready to ship, so.
Pretty much.
It was really silly. I mean, if you get into the beta, please don't do that until on the official forums, which are forums.dust514.com, tell you that you are able to post stuff, or you get written permission from CCP to post those kind of videos. So yeah, you pretty much are really not helping. Moving on, we have something else to talk about, Grid, right?
Yes. Now, actually, I just might ask some of you guys, is there anything particular you guys want to say to the community at large now that you've got the microphone?
Not really.
No?
I will just say, because I went to the London meet to meet CCP Unifex and Guard and Soundwave and loads of other cool people, Seismic Stand, and there's loads of other cool people that I met, and I've forgotten your name, sorry. It was just great to meet everyone there. I hope CCP, I really hope you do something like that again soon. I know a lot of people in my alliance are like, please do it on a Saturday, because they couldn't get the day off work on Friday to come down to London. But yeah, if you do it on a Saturday, we might need a bigger venue, because there'll be a lot more people. And shout out to all my court mates and everyone in Nully. So
just actually on that sort of train of thought, how many of you guys are going to FanFest already next year?
I'm going to do everything under the sun to get my arse over to Iceland for FanFest next year.
Yeah, I'm really
open to it.
And actually, question for especially you, Kaz and Dums, how many PS3 guys do you reckon would actually go all the way to Iceland for FanFest?
I can guarantee one person from my clan going over, and that's Lifeline, because he's obsessed with the game. So I'm sure he's going over as well. And if he does, I might tag along with him. Never know.
So we might actually.
I haven't asked the question around already, but I'm considering it, and I have a few friends. I think I can motivate them to follow me to FanFest, especially with Greed. That's supposed to meet me in Paris before going to FanFest next year. So I might tag along to Iceland. Especially, I saw they have hot sauces. I don't know if it's called like that, but those big pool with hot water. That seems fun. That just seems fun.
Yeah, they're actually quite nice when I went there. They were quite nice.
Blue Lagoon.
No, the Blue Lagoon. Just make sure when you go, guys, that if you do decide to get an Eve tattoo, as Hilmar says, people decide to do.
I'm not a tattoo guy.
just make sure you actually want it.
Yeah. Make sure you're not drunk when you make the decision, right?
No, because there's a lot of people who actually do that when they get over there. Oh, so many people.
No, saying
from what I hear
as well,
they always... Sorry, from what I hear as well, they always seem to drink Reykjavik out of alcohol, and considering how many more people are saying they're going to go next year, just a warning to the people in Iceland, get a lot more beer in, because there's going to be so many more people.
Yep. I think it's going to be massive. Yeah, with people from Dust, and Dust has so much potential, millions of people playing it, that it's going to be full. It's going to be full. I mean, even if you hosted FanFest on open, it's going to be just tremendous amount of people. So I don't know. We will be really interested to see that. But I'm definitely going next year. So yeah.
You're definitely going?
Yeah.
We finally get to meet Vlad in the flesh. We'll get to see who he is, and then everybody will run away from me, of course.
Why?
Well, you are a convict, obviously.
I'm a convict, and I'm also a ginger, so you'd look upon me and you'd see almost the devil himself.
That's just because they haven't met me.
Oh, you can't be worse than me.
Yeah, it's possible.
So yeah.
Come on, I saw a pic. You look nice.
I'm a crazy American who's mostly paranoid.
Mostly paranoid?
Well, when Eve plays, a healthy dose of paranoia doesn't go amiss in Eve, so...
A healthy dose of paranoia isn't healthy enough.
Yeah, I don't wear a tinfoil hat. I live inside a Faraday cage.
Ooh. Going just big scale there. Actually, is there anything in particular I like in this?
Wait. You're breaking up so much. Your computer voice is going out of hand. We will need to cut this. Yes, now you're fine. What the hell is going on?
I don't know.
No, it was fine for me.
I blame Gremlins.
Yeah, he was fine to me.
Yeah,
alright.
Well, if it's not fine to me, I cannot record. So yeah, it's messed up.
Yeah, it has to be fine. Okay, so are we good again?
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, good. Go.
There's been a bajillion ideas thrown around for things in Dust. Is there anything particular you'd like to see that hasn't been confirmed, or anything like that? Anything in particular you guys want to see in Dust?
Well, there's a lot of things I'd like to know. We know there will be in Dust, but we don't know much about it.
Not so much know if they're going to be putting in, but game ideas you have that you would like to see put into Dust.
I have one, and it's based off of the arena idea that they've got, that they're going to try to put in next year. But have it be MTAC combat. Hand-to-hand MTAC combat in an arena. 1-on-1, 2-on-2, whatever. Just everybody's in an MTAC, and they're all fighting hand-to-hand, no guns, just brawling.
That would be awesome.
There's a possible game mode, I suppose, because the amount of different game modes they could do would probably be a pretty large number as well. So, I mean, I love my mechs.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, what I see from the arena thing, I don't even think it'll be like a formalized, you can only take this, and this in. It'll be more like okay, here's a free space, here's a couple of spawn points, here's an arena you can modify a little bit, go wild.
Hopefully they let us customize our own arenas and set up our own custom matches. That'll be pretty big for the console community, especially for competitive clans as well, who might want that more smaller base combat, structured combat.
Yeah, give us a place to take on Ash with a knife.
One thing I'm looking forward to is I don't know if we'll see it in the sort of first year of Dust, but maybe down the line a bit, and having the Alliance tournaments, not only having a Dust tournament and an Eve tournament, Alliance tournament, but somehow getting them interacting as well, so you've got kind of a joint tournament.
Oh, that'd be sick.
Having them in battle above the planet, and being able to bombard down onto to the dust tournament and shoot back.
Yeah, that would actually making it a match that's actually got a gun, and whoever's got control of the gun also helps up in orbit. And if you've gotten space and you decided, because of course with the bombardment modules you probably have to sacrifice some other ship stats, you could bombard down, but I don't think you would.
Yeah. It will be amazing to see the scenario from all those trailers that we've seen before. It will be amazing to see a match that is actually utilizing all those things at the same time. I'm really sure that I'm 100% sure that we are going to see those kind of matches when the game launches. When all the systems are up and all the mechanics are working. But when people are watching and there is a alliance tournament happening, that would be awesome, just awesome to see and be live streamed from FanFest.
It's just going to be wild. What about you, Kaz? Is there anything particular you want to see?
I'm wondering if they have, in the last devlog they mentioned off-map support. I don't know if you see where it is. It's when he's talking about the role of the squad leader. Yeah. He has access to off-map support. And I know we have orbital bombardments, but I was thinking maybe Dust could need something that's a bit like what we had in MAG. Nums will know what I'm talking about. When you had air support, detectors, stuff like that, that were in the hands of the squad leaders or platoon leaders or OIC. To give to Dust players some artillery, some that would not be require actions from Eve. To give some another strategical layer to Dust as a separate game.
Yeah, I think it's important what you're talking about to have that, especially in an instance, especially with the defenders balancing against the attackers, because I can foresee for some reason that the attackers are probably in most instances going to have orbital superiority and going to be able to basically bomb with indiscriminately to the surface. So it's going to be very important for the defenders to have access to off-map support from other nodes or other districts even to level that playing field.
Yeah.
And could be all sorts of interesting things. Like you mentioned the detectors thing, that could be interesting, especially with the proliferation. I can almost guarantee you, and Nums will be able to rage about this in a moment, about the marksman class in Killzone 3 to try and prevent a situation from that happening.
Oh my god, the marksman. That's such an awful decision by Guerrilla Games to make it that way in that game. But the off-map support, I think it could work if it's a commander ability, not like a squad leader ability. Like, just leave it to the commander.
I think maybe in that instance, maybe you should give the commander the ability to I've lost the word.
I imagine it as a MCC and squad leaders just communicating. Personally,
that's right.
Well, you said you brought up a kind of cross-district support. How about the districts are helping each other? So I've got artillery in this district, and I've got some manufacturing facility in this district. The manufacturing facility is under attack, but you've also got other clan guys in the sort of other district with the artillery providing fire support onto a different district on the planet.
Yeah, exactly. And the word I was looking for was delegate. So the commander can actually delegate control of certain structures and facilities and things like support to squad leaders on a whatever he wants to provide basis. Might be the way to go about it.
Yeah, right.
Be very loud.
I imagine what you say. It's mostly what I was trying to say. We could have, I don't know, I pictured a few things. We could have, some drone support, drone air support. I mean, you could put on an auxiliary map on your district, you could put a drone base, and whenever you attacked on this district or another, the commander could delegate to follow Grid's ID to squad leaders the use of this drone army to bombard the opposite force on the ground. That would be a mechanism, a defense mechanism that would only be in the hands of Dust players, because I feel it would lack if you had to always have someone in space to use those type of forces, those airstrikes or I don't know, or anti-aircraft stuff. That would be nice to have something that's in the hands of Dust players.
Obviously, the thing with CCP and the developers behind Dust is that they don't want the game to rely on Evil Line so much that you cannot fight a match if you don't have Evil Line player on your team, and that is a very, very good point. We need a lot more options to deal with that. If other team has an orbital strike and we don't, we shouldn't be really in a huge disadvantage.
Well, there should be a bit of a disadvantage, but Obviously. It shouldn't be something that will cripple your ability to win.
Yeah.
And that's where you've got things like your own guns shooting up into orbit you might have planetary shields. I think we talked about at one stage with developers as an idea.
Yeah.
Not a definite coming in, but would be a nice idea and something that could certainly make the tables come back, to be fair. And also to other wonderful things.
Although I would stay away from the drones. They have a strong affinity for going rogue and stripping the flesh from your bones.
Yeah, drones. I don't know. Only if you stick an incredibly advanced AI in them, and then you decide that we're not going to put a kill switch in them. Let's just do that. No, I'm actually expanding on the drones idea. I know I've plugged a lot actually to developers the whole idea of having fighters and off-map fighter support. Having the drone support, I don't know, it would be interesting because you might be able to get a different way in which you use drones, and that you'd actually have drones and that actually stick with you as a continuous support, whereas an airstrike from fighters would be a bang in and out, although not really fighters, more bombers than fighters, because we're actually going to be getting fighters ourselves anyway.
Or the MCC commander could deploy a squad of drones to just hold this gateway, and once they're dead, crap, the enemy are going to get through.
Yeah, or you'd get more drones and stick them out there, or you assign these drones to a particular squad, and they just follow the squad around and shoot anything that the squad designates or they see.
Assist them, yeah.
But my issue with this drones thing is, I'm personally not a fan of it, but if it does go into play, that it's not overpowered. A drone should not be better than a human player in that it gets you free kills.
All it do is it basically move around behind you and maybe even make it that unless it's being shot at, it won't shoot at you, but only engage targets that's specifically told to engage. That might be the way to do it.
Okay.
And so it's basically just like an extra gun that's helping you.
Yeah,
and if you blow up the drone, then it's gone.
Yeah, and that's the way how Evil Line drones work. They're stupid little thingies that fly around stuff, and they don't really do much. Until
they always get popped by the rats, and it's really annoying.
Exactly.
Well, that's because if they were intelligent, they'd go rogue, and we'd all be dead.
Yeah. Well, we already have rogue drones, and we actually already have rogue drones in Eve,
and they are really a nightmare.
We have rogue drones in Dust as well.
Yeah, that rogue drone artwork did look pretty cool as well.
It did. Yep. Like there was the massive drone. This is probably like a tank version. It'd probably come down and take your HAV on and just walk over it laughing. Drones can laugh. I think they can actually. There's a mission I think where they actually send like a binary transmission of LOL and ask.
Yep.
It's pretty funny. I wonder if we'll get some of that. Just walk up. If they add proxy chat or something, they'll just hear all of a sudden randomly something going 10101101 or something like that.
So many cool ideas, so little time. The game needs to ship, and we are throwing so many of these at CCP that they don't even have time. But yeah, definitely all those things. Even if they don't make launch, and we know that there is going to be Horde mode and Left 4 Dead style things, and it's going to be awesome.
Oh, Left 4 Dead. Come on, they're going to be. I've already written the thing on this, so you guys probably know about it already. But I'm hoping they'd go like several times the number of players on the same team.
Yeah,
because that would be cool. I mean, because Horde mode's all right with a couple of people, and you've got a little bit of strategy and a little bit of coordination. But 16 people versus infinite Horde of drones, that's cool.
24.
Well, yeah. Whatever they end up making the maximum size of teams, because we've all spoken about seeing it more than 24v24. So whatever size team you can have, 60 against loads of rogue drones. If you've got 60 people, a hell of a lot more rogue drones.
That'd be insane to see 60 people. The number of rogue drones they could then bring to the field, that's just insane.
Yeah,
do you know the image that comes to my mind a bit is, like a Tyranid swarm from Warhammer 40k?
Yeah.
Just a massive Tyranid swarm, but of rogue drones just coming towards you.
The other one that was coming to mind was Starship Troopers.
That's what I was thinking.
But with the Horde mode, though, one thing CCP should not do is like make a limited, like a level limit. Like a lot of these games try to do Horde mode, but then you have like a max limit, and then when you finish that limit, it's like, okay, you beat Horde mode. They should just have like a never-ending limit. Just keep ramping up the difficulty, because that'll keep pushing people to see how far they can actually go and on this Horde mode.
Maybe. I mean, I guess it depends on the implementation. If they make it that the Horde actually, I mean, in my particular one I wrote up recently, I made it that the drones actually infect your nodes and things like that. In that sort of instance, there should be a limited number. But if they don't do it, and you're just basically like attacking a rogue drone nest, then yeah, sure, bring in infinite drones. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I agree with Greed. Drones, this own mode should fit in the whole universe. I mean, let's say, for example, you own a district on a planet. You're busy making war on another planet in another system, trying to get some more territory. Well, you should have sometimes an alert telling you that the district you have on your planet is being under attack by own mode, and you have, let's say, 24 hours to get to the map and fight this battle against those rogue drones to prevent destructions from planetary infrastructures you set on it. That would be interesting. That this AI rogue drones would play their part in this in territorial conquest and defense. That would be interesting.
Yeah,
some sort of incursions, like in Eve.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was going to say. Similar to the Sancha incursions, but obviously rogue drones or whatever. Later on, why not even have Sancha incursion on the planet and the Dustmercs fighting Sancha zombies? That would be cool as well.
I would love to see Sancha and rogue drones invading the same battlefield at once and fighting each other, and then you dropping in and fighting both of them, and it's this massive three-way battle of epic proportions.
1v1, yeah.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
It would be perfect. Well, do you guys have anything else to add? Because we can throw ideas at CCP right now until the end of time.
Well, the mind boggles with the possibilities, you know?
Yep.
Yeah. Because this is, I think
we have a lot of questions. I think we have a lot of questions, but not enough answers. And I know I have a lot of questions, but not enough answers from CCP. I hope that in the next coming months that we get more answers on the hard-hitting, like, questions we've been asking, like reinforcement timers, war barges, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Are you listening, Commander Wang? Are you listening now?
Yeah. Also, there's also industry, and let's be honest, if CCP needs ID, they can just go through dust514.org's forums, and they'll have plenty of ideas. I mean, there's people who are not part of this Cast 514 that have some very good ideas. I've read some stuff. I said, yeah, it's good. I mean, let's say the topic we had on taking battles into space station. I mean, maybe it's not something we'll see in years, but it's a good idea. I mean, I would love to fight in one of those space stations. That would be just epic.
And that could certainly bring a new dynamic to EVE itself, because I know one of the ideas. Yeah. This is the idea I personally plugged, basically making it, when they introduce destructible stations, which will also reshape the nullsec game, make it that you can use Dust mercenaries to make a station vulnerable regardless of the current system vulnerability state, which means that you could actually destroy a station without having to take or make the sovereignty neutral in the system.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing, though, as a nullsec player, you know, I mean, this is one thing that I kind of asked Soundwave a bit about at London as well, because, you know, nullsec sort of needs a rework after Dominion, the kind of half-assed finished thing it is. And, yeah, there's all these cool things they could do with the Dustmercs and the nullsec and the Sov and the taking of planets, but they've got to address nullsec sort of first, and Soundwave was like, yes, we're going to do that by the time that Dust comes out to nullsec, which is... who knows how long that's still going to be, but it's at least that we know Sov for nullsec is going to be in the rework as well, because it's painful grinding structures.
And we can also see devs working on reworking some of the factional warfare to adapt also to Dust gameplay. So yeah, it's really exciting to see EVE changing as well and merging with Dust, even on the level where the games are not even together yet. So yeah, it's
one day we're just going to refer to them collectively as New Eden or something.
Yeah, something
Yeah.
like that.
I mean, they mentioned the fact that you could go and negotiate a contract with an EVE player in the station, having a drink in the bar. Well, I would like to go have a drink in the bar, talk about the contract, and if I'm not happy with the contract, I just shoot the guy in the face right in the bar. That would be awesome.
That seems like a reasonable way to express your disapproval.
Yeah, or just shoot in the knee to start if the guy can raise it.
Yeah, they are a little bit fuzzy about the subject of kneecaps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you are saying that you want to see him take a laser to the knee, right?
Well, not just a laser to the knee. I for myself prefer the blaster.
Yeah, I'll be using a railgun, so it's a
All
good
right.
couple kilometers off.
I think a Nova Knight would leave a more lasting impression, though, partly because it'd just be sitting there embedded,
Yeah.
and you could easily see it.
Scimitar for the win, just a bolt action.
What? Just put
Oh,
it right
yeah.
up against the knee.
Yep.
Han Solo style, just with a shotgun
Han Solo? What do you mean?
in a bar.
That's not a shotgun.
blaster
That's a
pistol.
That was a blaster pistol.
I
and a
know,
hand
but
shot first.
replace the pistol with the shotgun in dust.
Oh, okay, that works. Yeah, that could work. Although you might be a little bit messy.
Exactly.
Yes.
Well, anyway, if you guys don't have anything else to add, I may have to reveal right now why is this a community and manager special. And I guess you already know that, as I said, manager, we do have CCP Commander Wang as a second part of this episode. So we are going to do a Life of a Community Manager sequence with CCP Commander Wang, and this will be straight after this talk. So thank you, gentlemen, for being here.
Oh,
Yes, it's been a pleasure. It's been a great pleasure having you come on and say hi to the community and listen to all you guys talk about terrible ideas, and we never want to hear from you again. I'm joking. We'd love to have you back on some other point.
yeah, no, it was nice. I'll do it again with pleasure. Great pleasure.
Yes.
Same here.
Well, you know where to find me. I'm always in my corner.
Obviously.
Your corner or your corners?
I'm always on, so
I thought you were in corners, Rick Doc.
Yeah, it depends on the day. Some days I'm in one corner. Sometimes I'm in four.
Well, yeah. Thank you guys so much, and it was a great episode. And obviously, this is not the end. We are going to jump into CCP Commander Wang interview right now.
Right, so like we said earlier, we've now got the illustrious CCP Commander Wang with us, who's very kindly joined us here today. How are you going, Commander Wang?
I'm doing well. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Yep. Well, we've had you on the show previously. It was in episode 1, wasn't it, with CCP Praetorian?
Yep. That was a couple of months back, I guess, or a few months back.
This is right before FanFest.
Mm-hmm.
So, lots of cool stuff now. But we're not here to talk to you about all that. Today we're actually here to ask you what it's like in the day of life of the community manager, which of course you are.
Right. Well, for the life of a community manager for DUS right now is actually pretty hectic. Currently, I'm the only one that's on the community team. And what we do is we're setting up a lot of the infrastructure and the planning for DUS community as we enter, as we open up the closed beta phase of the DUS 5.4, and then moving into months, a while afterwards as we expand into the open beta, and then finally the commercial launch.
So basically, you're trying to work in a construction site.
Yeah, basically, there's still a lot of foundation that needs to be put down. For example, working with the Sony team as well. They have a big community group there as well that we'll need to work out a plan to integrate the PlayStation forums and how that will affect the DUS players. So there's a lot of background stuff going on, and actually I just wanted to let everybody know that we actually have a DUS forum. It's only open to the closed beta testers right now, which is fairly active for just the amount of people that we have, which is only a few thousand. And so because that is not open to all, I can understand why some for majority of the fans out there Doesn't seem like there's much going on. But actually, behind the scene, there's a lot of activity and there's a lot of communication with the closed beta testers.
So you are regularly visiting those forums and collecting feedback from them as well, yeah, right?
Of course, absolutely. And just recently, one of the nice things that we saw develop from this is that I'm working very closely with our game designers in communicating what the beta testers are giving us via comments and feedbacks on the forums. And one of the nice things that we saw was that a lot of their comments were actually taken by our designers. Namely, Eno, I think most of you know. And what he has done is actually storified a lot of these comments and feedbacks into something that are actionable items that the Dust design team can actually use. So this is one of the very, I should say, good things that have arisen out of the closed beta forums.
Well, sounds pretty cool. I mean, you are visiting forums obviously on a daily basis, but what is the another thing that you visit on a daily basis and do when you come to CCP?
Well, I mean, one of the things that I'm also working on right now is kind of helping out with the team Scrum process. Things like arranging sprint demos, release demos, things like that. I'm actually in the middle of the transitioning out of that role, so that I would have more bandwidth freed up to just concentrate more on community stuff. But I just want to let people know that unfortunately, as much as I would love to, right now I cannot afford to be kind of like in a traditional, perhaps a more traditional sense of a community manager, where I'm mainly visible to everyone on Twitter or the forums or other social media sites. I would love to do that, but right now, because of just the small amount of resources that I have, I'm not able to do that as much. For example, other than doing Scrum planning or the Scrum process with the dev team, I'm also engaged in doing analysis, basically tracking trends on what people are saying, the comments are floating around on the internet from various groups, various sites, trying to put that together into a report that the project management group and also the development team, the rest of the development team, can read and find it helpful as far as in deciding the future development for Dust based on feedbacks or just comments from the greater web community. So there's all these things are obviously some of them are very time consuming. So I'm always juggling several different tasks at any one time, and that combined with the fact that a lot of our communication with our player base is still in closed beta and that it's not open to the public. This then I think results in as far as people are the greater web community is concerned, that maybe I'm not as visible, which is true, but this is something that I definitely want to change. I definitely want to become more visible to the greater community out there. But this will take time, as I'm still in the middle of building infrastructure and setting foundation for this community.
All right. Well, that means that people can expect your replies to Twitter a lot more often when the game actually approaches its launch and obviously post-launch. So you have this stable work for you constantly to work on something that's really, really focused on the community. And Ben,
I just want to say, I just also want to add that in order for me to say stuff, there has to be actually a pre-approved set of things for me to actually announce. And this is something that I'm also working. Part of my job is also working with our marketing team in making sure that we have a set of messages that we're going to be able to broadcast to the public. So as the marketing team is solidifying their plans, their marketing plans and stuff like that, in the coming months there will be more things for me to actually announce as well to the wider audience.
So we're going to have to, if we want to try and skip the queue, we're going to have to rely on CCP Praetorian having a good night and deciding to be nice to us more?
or getting drunk and tweeting to you guys. Yeah. No, I'm trying to make sure he doesn't do too much of that. Although I do, and they have agreed to kind of be able to do more of this, meet and greet and chat with players more in the future, which is very constructive for them as well.
Yeah, so you're not going to need to break out your assault rifle that you've got sitting in your office still, I assume, and go gun them down or something.
Yeah, exactly. And
have you still got that assault rifle there? Where are you going to stick that? Because now that Hilma's brought it all the way over, you're going to have to put it somewhere special.
Yeah, it's actually right next to my desk.
Not going to mount it on your wall like a trophy or something?
Actually, we're still discussing plans on what we can do, with the assault rifle. Maybe give it away as a contest prize of some sort or something like that. So, I mean, it's still on the table. Maybe anything's possible at this point.
You hear that, everybody? Now you might give it away as a contest prize. Although... So have we got anything else that you're working on at the moment that we can look forward to soon or even soon, TM?
For the community team, we're looking at expanding. One of the first things we want to do is to actually have more of a presence on the EVE community forum, because obviously there's been a lot of interest from the EVE players as well. And it would be nice if we can also have just a Dust section on the EVE forums where we can actually be more active and post more of the information, so that we have a clear segregation between EVE and Dust on the forums. So that's one of the things that we're working towards, and I think although this mainly applies to EVE players, but this is something that they can definitely look forward to from the community.
And we can expect Ben to spam those forums endlessly.
Yes, I promise I'll try not to completely overwhelm everybody else with my tirade of spam and ideas and all sorts of other things.
I really liked your thread actually on orbital bombardment. So yeah,
that was CCP Nullable who put that in the one of the sections, and that actually got a massive. I think it was 16 or 17 pages long by the end of it. I think it's probably buried by now, but you could probably still keep adding to it. And apparently they read every single post, so I hope CCP Omen has recovered from his, whatever happened after reading that many posts on the EVE Online forums. It's not just fatigue, it's almost insanity to go that long. No, so now actually you guys had a couple of the CCP bigwigs in Shanghai just before. It was Hilma we saw CCP Pakulu or David Reed, the marketing guy, CMO. Was there anybody else you had, and what was it like to have them in Shanghai?
Yeah, we had quite a bit of visitors from Shanghai, and we're still actually getting more visitors in the coming months as well. So it was very constructive. Most of it that I was part of was regarding what the marketing plan would be for Dust in the near future. So it's starting to shape up. I think we have a lot of stuff lined up that we're ready. We will soon be able to reveal to the public, and I think you'll find it very, very attractive.
Yeah. So now one other thing we might just ask while we've got you here, what are the best ways for people, the members of the public, to get in contact with you if they want to ask you questions about something, get clarifications on something they've heard somewhere else, or just want to find out more about Dust?
Obviously, they can always hit me up on Twitter. I know I haven't been as active as I would like to, but I'm making a pledge here and now that I'm going to become more active on Twitter from now on. So I'm going to try to answer as many questions as I possibly can. Although bear in mind that a lot of the questions that I have seen on Twitter that have been asked of me are quite specific, and particularly with game design features that we're not always ready to reveal right away, because obviously we may want to do this in a devlog somewhere down the road. So I'll try to answer your questions on Twitter as best as I can, but just keep in mind that I'm not always able to answer all questions right away.
Yeah. Is there any other way besides Twitter we can get onto you?
Feel free to email me or even direct their questions to you guys if possible, because I've been working with you guys for quite some time, and it's been working out fairly well so far, and I'll be happy to continue this relationship.
Yep, sounds good. So, is there anything else you wanted to say to the community while you've got the microphone?
I just want to say I've been reading about your comments. I know that a lot of you are dying to get in, and we have plans that are going to expand, include a lot more people into the closed beta. So just hang in there, and trust me, the idea is to let all of you come in and play. So don't be discouraged by the waiting.
And I know there's a whole heap of people who would be very disappointed if I didn't ask this question, I should say. But are you going to give any more keys away to any lucky people?
Yes, actually, I do have some keys that I'm ready to hand out as part of a contest, and also just some giveaways. Obviously, it won't be a lot, maybe a dozen or so to lucky winners. But definitely, yeah, we definitely want to let some of you guys in sooner rather than later.
Alrighty, so guys, you hear that? Keep your eye on Commander Wang on Twitter. He is, of course, at @CCP_Commander Wang, and you should all follow him. So that way he can. And you know what we need to do? We need to get you to be the most followed CCP dev there is. That's our next goal.
All right. What's the?
And this is stabbing me in the back because I'm actually trying to catch up and beat. At the moment, I'm trying to catch up to CCP Jan, who is the executive producer. But you're next to my side after that.
What's the? Who has the highest number of followers?
I think out of everybody in CCP, that's a good question. It's probably CCP Puncturus, I would guess. I think she's got about 1,200 or 1,300, something like that.
Okay.
The official Eve Online account has probably got goodness knows how many. Okay. A lot.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll look into that later. But I'm pretty sure that you're the highest dev on Dust.
Okay.
As far as followers go. How many have you got broadcast on? Haven't you like a couple of hundred?
I'm on 400.
Yeah, I've got 399. I had 400 just before, but somebody's obviously stopped following me. Or maybe it was one of those spam bots got banned that somehow followed me. I don't know. One of the two.
Probably, yeah. Well, yeah. If we don't have anything much to say more, I mean, we can obviously always contact you again, Commander Wang, on Twitter, and if you have something specific about the beta keys, obviously people are going to see that. We're going to retweet that. We're going to spread the word. They can always visit dustfire4org forums if they're not in the beta at the moment. If they are, they should visit forum.dustfire4.com and log in. So give your feedback over there.
Yes, and please do not break the NDA because it would every time I heard this. I need you to confirm it. Every time somebody breaks the NDA, you shed a single tear.
Yeah, well, an angel sheds a tear. Yes,
an angel sheds a tear. Whoa.
Yeah, as we switch
that's serious.
Camera, so yeah.
Alrighty, so you got. Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Phil, for coming by and talking to us on the community side of things.
No problem.
Yes.
Pleasure was all mine.
Thank you, Ben, as well.
Yes, and we'd love to have you back on any time you want.
Absolutely.
You know where to find us.
Yes.
And that concludes our episode 5. And yes, you can find us everyone on @BroadcastStorm, @Gridrace, and obviously at dustfire4org Twitter. We will see you guys
next time.
Bye.